Hello everybody and welcome back to the Let's Play of Sunset.
Entering the apartment feels more solitary than before. It's still lovely, but it's diminished without Gabriel.
Uh-huh.
The regime's security measures have trapped him outside San Vivon.
You've never met him!
Well, I'm at the center of the capital city. Senor Ortega is stuck in the Anchurian countryside.
Yes, how terrible that must be.
A traitorous part of me wishes I was with him.
Why is that traitorous? Ugh. Alright, so you may notice her voice is quite a bit quicker than it was before. That's because we have sped up things significantly. I have increased the speed of non-journal parts by like 1.5 times and journal parts by like 3 times. So I'm hoping that'll let us get through these things in something approaching a reasonable amount of time. We have a bunch of days ahead of us, and the days are long and they are dull, my friends. So we got to do what we can. Also, I tried to mess around with the graphics settings here a little bit, and I think that the minimum graphics are hilarious once we get up into the apartment. Imagine this as Sunset played with Angela having lost her glasses. And remember that really the graphics design was the only thing this game had going for it. Look at this. This is like some 80s adventure game. When they say minimum, they are not kidding. So Gabriel's still away. There's nothing really to do but put mail on the table. We're going to try to keep track a little bit of all of the different kinds of Angelas that we come across in the course of this Let's Play. This is blind Angela, who's lost her glasses, of course, but also so far once we've had romantic Angela and social critic Angela, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure if who she's mad at because of the social problems in Anchuria. Notice this does help the frame rate, but well, it may not be worth it. Yeah, I think at this point I kind of teeter back and forth. Look at how different that is. That is nuts. I teeter back and forth between presenting really the only thing this game has going for it at this point, which is the nice graphics, but then that tanks the frame rate. So, you know, it gives and takes away. And goodness knows how we got all of our watercolors in here, but we can either paint a plain landscape or tenderly model a vase. One of the dev team, I think, is actually a sculptor, so presumably, you know, that is meaningful to them. They're reenacting the scene from Ghost or whatever. Also notice the horrifying hand letter opener there. And did you see something on the bench over there? What is? That's another hand. It's just stuck in the bench, I guess. I'd be creeped out if that was the first thing I saw. Obviously the plants are going to pot because Gabriel won't let us in any rooms, or we won't let ourselves in, or whatever's going on, so we can tidy up a bit there. Yeah, not again, a whole lot goes on outside of our intro thoughts, which are, you know, some variation on, oh, Senor Ortega, I just miss you so badly. And our journal, there's not much to do for a while now. Who knows, but things may get to be more exciting by the end of our playthrough. I feel like we could probably hide the magazine article accusing our brother of being the devil, but whatever. Yes. So here we go. Artistic Angela comes out again, I guess. However, she doesn't appear to know the myths, but like, I don't know, wouldn't she know Greek myths? That Z is so bad. Ah, here we go. Time for some social commentary. Yeah, those jerk artists. How dare they be inspired? You know, there is a good conversation we can have about appropriation, I guess. I just don't feel like Angela's the one to make it, and I don't feel like she's making much of a point here. Yes, you're probably not European, Angela. You're probably of African Caribbean extraction. But, again, like, we've criticized this in the thread, but there's not really any point made beyond, I bet European artists felt cool drawing from African or Oceanic influences. And it's just kind of left to sit there. I think we're supposed to feel bad about it. Although she also likes the art, although she also hates the art, and Gabriel likes the art, and Gabriel hates the art. I don't know. Man, look. When she looks in the mirror, she sees an African face, and that's all we need to know, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we can have a
Gabriel has met with his friends from Company Irmas, one of Anchuria's neighboring states. They're trying to initiate talks about future exchanges between the countries. Maybe there's a way to end the shooting. Maybe the president and his regime will compromise in exchange for peace. I think of my brother David in jail, and all his revolutionary friends, hiding in the hills of Yaguara.
Grandmate, grandmate.
How would they see such an arrangement? Betrayal, I think.
Betrayal from whom? They wouldn't be betrayed by the current regime. They hate the current regime. I mean, they would probably, maybe it's betrayal from foreign countries, but the other countries have no reason to support the rebels. Frankly, that'd be a great tactical move. That might rein in some of the excesses of a potentially abusive dictator. Whatever. So here's a weird part. Worm is put the swan in the water, so I guess we have like a swan in a box. It's an IKEA swan set. And cold, of course, as soon as I can find the thing, is plant the ferns. So we either waste ferns or release the swan, and that's no choice at all. Swan bro uber alles, my friend. Also, we just killed a bunch of his plants, I guess, but whatever. He's still gone, of course, and you know, we've got nothing left to do. So yeah, I mean, there are these little tirades that kind of go into the story, like, I don't feel comfortable, I guess, with the fact that African forms were appropriated, but not really much is done with it. Ah, yes, back to considering Senor Ortega the center of all of our musings. You know, I mean, certainly the Greeks were accused, and probably were, of polyamory, so to say. And here we segue into Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Zarathustra. And yeah, I mean, I've read Nietzsche's stuff about Bacchus and Apollo as well, but I kind of get what they're going for. You know, Bacchus being traditional art and Apollo being this cold international style. And yeah, of course, we segue right into fangirl squeeness or whatever. But it doesn't. I don't really think that's what Nietzsche was going for with the whole Apollo-Bacchus comparison. I think it was more, you know, the duality of man than necessarily Bacchus good, Apollo bad. But I mean, that's about the level we're able to get to
Watching
here.
President Miraflores' men at the checkpoints across the city, seeing them beating older people and women, I've given up hope for a peaceful resolution. The machine must be silenced.
Okay.
And silence can only follow its destruction.
So keep that in mind. We've now decided that only total war is acceptable against General Miraflores. You know, I put the updates in fast motion like this to get through a lot of them, but it really highlights to me, more so even than the past ones does, how schizophrenic the writing feels. I mean, we love the art. We think that the art is cultural appropriation. We miss Ortega. Ortega is trying to broker an agreement that would be seen as a betrayal by our brother. We hate war. We suddenly realize that only the total and complete destruction of Miraflores and everything he stands for is appropriate. Alright, now here is an exciting moment. We make a colorful Day of the Dead decoration, Dia de los Muertos, and it is amazing. Ah! Phone ringing. Oh man, the first exciting thing to happen to us in ever. I don't know, when that time the window broke, that was pretty cool. Here's another little example of sound design. You would think that the beeping would get louder as you approach the phone, but no, for all I can tell, there's actually only one phone in the apartment that it would let me answer anyway, that it would let me get my paws on. And if you don't find it in time, which is certainly a consideration, as you can see here, I'm struggling to do that very thing, eventually the phone is going to go off, and seeing as how this is the only exciting thing that's happened to us, as I've said, since the mirror broke, I sure as heck was not going to accept that, so we're canceling out and restarting the day. Now this helps to illustrate some of the bugs.
Watching President Miraflores' men at the checkpoints across the city,
Yes, yes.
seeing them beating older people and women, I've given up hope for a peaceful resolution.
Well,
The machine must be silenced, and silence can only follow its destruction.
there we go. Total destruction. Total war is the only acceptable option against Miraflores. But why do people fight, Angela? Is it just so that there's a winner and a loser? Oh, I'm being too hard on poor Angela. She's had a rough day. Now, I wasn't sure whether the phone would actually ring or not again, because again, canceling out midday causes a whole host of weird little bugs to happen. For instance, as we will see when we go over and try to open the door again. Thank goodness I already did the task for the day, because now this thing opens the laundry room, which is weird because there's nothing to do in the laundry room. And as we'll see, there's no reason to keep opening doors one by one anymore, which is its own version of oddness. Also, the mail's already been put on the table. Yay!
Generalissimo Ricardo Miraflores, now the president, was born in Anchuria. Grew up here. What must El Jefe think, looking out across the city at the smoke rising up from places that have stood since his grandparents' time? The boy has become a monster. But I know that this isn't his doing alone. For a regime like this to come to power, many have to give their support, or at least look the other way. There are rumors that he has the backing of the U.S. It's a worldwide ecosystem, and even here I can't get away.
I mean, this is the 1970s, and so we're saying he's been burning parts of this big modern city that have been around since. I mean, if he's of age in the 70s, then his grandparents had to have been around in, like, what, the 1890s? Something like that? So, those would be some pretty old buildings, I guess. Gotta keep the old foyer calendar in order there. And here we go, here's the laundry room, not really much to do. There's a record, and I can put it on the turntable, but I'm not gonna play it because that messes with the audio I choose myself. So I'm just kind of bumming around and starting to, frankly, lose a little bit of hope. So we might as well sit and get some of this journaling out of the way. I thought we said we were late because of all the soldiers and everything. Yeah, terrorist, that for current social commentary there. Also note that we said we were late again, but we were actually exactly on time. The phone! Now, fortunately, to my poking around earlier, I did find the only phone in the apartment. Maybe we'll finally get to talk to Ortega. Who knows what we'll have to say.
Miss Urnes?
Yes.
Angela? Gabriel here. Gabriel Ortega. I was hoping I could catch you. I'm coming back tomorrow. No need to do anything special. I'm certain you took good care of my apartment while I was away.
Sure did.
Well, that is all. Have a pleasant evening, Miss Urnes. Goodbye.
He doesn't have an answering machine, I don't think, so it's super weird that we would, like, pick up the phone and say nothing, and he would talk as if he was leaving a message on an answering machine and then just hang up. Like, I don't know if they didn't get the voice actors together in the studio and didn't think they could make it sound realistic to have the two of them talking, or whatever, but, anyway, that's fine, he's coming home tomorrow. So as I said, no more need to, you know, open one door at a time. Presumably we'll be back to exciting things happening tomorrow, and this long dry spell will finally lift. Anyway, yes, it is all terrifying. But we said that something else happened, right? Yeah, that's not what we were saying. Is this the beginning of a new chapter in Anchuria? Also, Miraflores' regime must be demolished by any means necessary. Also, he just called and told us he was coming home, and then we went and sat right down and wrote, I wonder if he'll be able to come home. Like, it's just, they're not programming for all these eventualities, and there's not a lot of eventualities.
I feel good, despite everything. The regime has loosened travel restrictions, so Gabriel will be back soon. He must miss this apartment. I wanted to welcome him home.
Oh no! So, apparently Miraflores' thugs came and ripped open the apartment. We had a small seizure there. But this is something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So our brother, who is also a black foreign national, which there can't be a million of, is in prison for crimes against the state, and Miraflores is obviously not a big respecter of persons. I mean, he'll do whatever he wants to. And they're currently apparently suspecting Ortega of various seditious acts. You know, his apes came in and busted the place up, and nobody thought to question the black foreign national housekeeper, who must be passing, you know, the guards and checkpoints and interacting with a ton of guards on a day-to-day basis. Like, nobody thought, I don't know, or maybe it's a rival agent poaching his manuscript before anybody else can get to it. Unlikely, but I suppose theoretically possible. Yeah, so that's the big excitement for today, and I'll grant you, at least it's something. At least something happened. Ortega is under suspicion now, and so who knows what this holds for us in our unsteady future. Again, I kind of feel like if we were going to be stopped by the police, it would have happened by now. Also, in sort of a metagaming sense, I frankly don't think they programmed enough into this game to make it so that we will actually be stopped. Oh, there's the robot for today. Oh, they even destroyed all our stupid towers. How sad is that? I'm really just doing everything that takes no time, like closing the drawers there. That's I'm still not taking the coins. No, I'm a housekeeper with spirit. Oh, and I'm also I'm having a very painful stroke. Man, oh, that's so bad. Oh, that effect is so bad. I would love if somebody who is a graphic person, oh no, could tell me what they think that the Cthulhus are and those particular artifacts. I don't know enough about graphics to be able to tell. And look at that. By sabotage, they apparently mean struck with something heavy. That picked it all up there. You don't have time to fix everything in the apartment, so I guess you can't even fix the game area. So obviously, they're not expecting you to fix everything. We have no particular directions for today. I mean, we don't. What's up, Swan Bro? So we just kind of wander about doing whatever seems best to us at the moment. Righting all of the lamps. You know, the lamps being thrown over like this does make me wonder where they're plugged in. Surely these aren't, I don't know, high-tech battery-powered lamps in the 70s? No way. They tore down all of his accomplishments. I guess that was supposed to be more of a symbolic action than anything. Or they thought he was hiding something behind the newspaper clippings. Tore down the plans. That's either for the house or the museums. I forget which one it was. Good to know that nobody cares about our stuff, although I'm sure they think we're a mistress, which we practically are at this point, with how flirty we've been. Yeah, all in all, you know, I wonder why they did that. I mean, maybe it was supposed to be intimidating, but they must know he's away. Like, it seems like one of those rush jobs, and I get that it's supposed to be, like, it wouldn't have been quite as emotionally impactful if they had, like, neatly moved everything around. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of, like, I don't know who they were trying to intimidate. Us, I guess, but, you know, you could do that just by being here when we got here, which you would also think would be a fine idea. I mean, if you saw that the maid had, like, moved in with the guy, you would at least think, oh, here's somebody we ought to talk to. But then again, I'm not Miraflores. I don't know how he works. Ah, the fragility of human life. That's right. Well, not down here. We'd be mosquitoed to death. You know, this is sounding an awful lot like a quote from somewhere. Life is fragile. Don't we live here? Like, why do we have to go home when the sun sets? We're living here. How did the thugs come when we were gone? Why are we getting through the checkpoints? Where are we going? We moved all our clothes here. Ugh, I don't get it. I do not get it. Oh well. We'll be back tomorrow. We are moving in towards the end of the year,
State
so
police
that's
were
nice.
here. Is Ortega under suspicion? Is it even safe for him to come back? What kind of welcome is this? The greeting of the new regime in Anchuria.
Yeah, so the calm before the storm has yielded its way to the storm, which, as I say, you know, hey, he's back to opening his book to to baldly symbolic pages where people are trampling art underneath their feet. What could it mean, Senor Ortega? What are you trying to convey with your somewhat obvious symbolism? Oh well, that's not for us to decide. We're just the maid. So, yeah. I mean, we've got a lot more duties now, which is, in a way, nice. I guess we're kind of grasping at gameplay straws here, but I'm sort of pathetically grateful for anything to do at this point. So, you know, fix or remove. I mean, the choices are still the same. Are we attempting against all odds to make this house into a home? I would love if the, let's see, we have two warm or cold choices here. Either hide the chess piece, which I guess is supposed to be playful, but also ruins the game, and relax while I make my move. You know, we've already hit maximum flirtation, so anything past this point is just gravy, I guess. What's up, Swan Bro? You know, what are we gonna do creative with the weeds? Ah, we're gonna pick flowers. I guess leaving the weeds there. So I guess our warm choice is just not doing our work. Yeah, I mean, he must have been glad to see the comfiness of the apartment. This is something that did bug me a bit. I was gonna say, like, I wish our choices had affected what the police found, or what he was like when he came back, or how he was feeling about things, or, like, anything. But it's just kind of like, okay, I'm back, and plus the police completely wrecked this place, so any idea you had about making this into a home, or you had about, I don't know, changing things around, trying to make things nice for me, is out the window because it didn't matter what you did because it's wrecked now. And, you know, like, now I want you to get things... There's maybe an element of persistence. You know, I could see that in a game. If it was like, you work very hard over a long period of time and then due to events outside of your control, everything is shattered. And you can see a lot of our choices are like, you know... no time for journals today. I'll have to look it up and post it to the thread. A lot of the choices are like, you know, make the best out of what we have or just quickly deal with it. So I could dig that. But,
in war, optimism is the refuge of fools. Somehow Gabrielle still hopes for peace. How can the man be so naive? Life has coddled him.
Yeah, that is what it is. I think he hasn't really had to deal with much now, so he still thinks that he can talk his way out of stuff. But that's fine. People are goose-stepping real fast. Check out our new maid outfit. Oh yeah, crab walking that. Grab your butt and start to strut, as they say. He says that. I say that. Angela Burns says that. Yeah, so there we are back into contempt for Gabriel a little bit, I guess. I don't know. We think of him as being a really inspiring guy, but, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, I have no idea how these leaves blow up here. I have not solved the mystery yet. Either we throw them away or we start a little fire. Of course, the fire is altogether too much for the engine, and tanks the frame rate even more than usual, so I have to just sort of escape from there. Ugh. I thought that might have been a CD, but that was just a book. A book that I haven't read. A book about a great land ape and the lady that loves him. It's a turning point. What do you mean, how could he think about art collecting at a time like this? He's literally never thought of anything else. In his defense, I guess he did try to get our brother freed, but that's debatably, in this playthrough, that's debatably just because we've been flirting so heavy with him. He doesn't really seem to oppose the Miraflores regime, except in that it doesn't promote the arts, and he's mad at the rebels because they don't promote the art. Like, he's not that hard to figure out. I thought we could maybe slip back there, but nothing doing. I mean, whatever is good for art is good for Gabrielle, and whatever is not, he doesn't like. I mean, that's why I a bit struggle to call him like a heroic or a sympathetic figure. I could get the idea of, you know, preserving culture and trying to what's up, skeleton? Trying to keep things in a time of turmoil. You know, I could even see sort of a tragic figure who can't focus on what's right or what's important. I mean, not that art isn't important, but you know, who has such a myopic view that he's just becomes consumed by art. But I don't even get that. It just doesn't even seem like he's interacting with the revolution beyond his concern for art, you know? I left this in here because the directions is to clear window area. Well, like 60% of this apartment is window area, so I wasn't really sure where that was. And everything has a little icon on it for sitting down, which fortunately I just happened to see that clear area sign there. Otherwise I would have missed it, and obviously I had to do a few circuits of the apartment. Oh yes, look at his completely monocolor, fuchsia-colored lady jaunting around, I guess. And likewise, you know, we have this weird I don't know, if it was me in this relationship, which obviously I'm very different from Angela, I would think I'd be more concerned with, like, the rebels and my brother. Yes, maybe the clan left bruises on your ancestral memories. Don't get me wrong, the clan is awful, but, I don't know about all that. Still, at least we're interacting with history at this point. I mean, I think our reaction to hearing about the clan is sort of typical of Sunset, which is, the clan was bad, therefore I don't like any kinds of groups or gatherings at all. I don't like conflict, and I'm not going to take sides. Incidentally, this is like a day or so after Miraflore's regime must be destroyed and dismantled at all costs. So there's our there's that viewpoint again. And it's not like a change in viewpoint. I mean,
Everything is dark besides the fires. Unreal faces casting shadows, like in Johnson or Sergeant El Halil. People tucked against the walls, reminding me of a street menace. I have to choose a careful route back to this place. There's soldiers all over.
Don't you live here? Anyway, we're just gonna flirt with all of his hastily written missives. He's like, please help this. And we're like, oh, I'll help you too, Senor Ortega. Of course, he is leaving us out books that are called, like, The Tiny Bang, and flirting with us just as much. So he's just as silly as we are. But the soldiers are just stinking everywhere at this point. The city is going to pot. And, we're having such bad strokes. Oh, the tension is getting to us. I'm not wrong, right? Like, we did move in here. We don't elevate art, art elevates us. Either good things because it seems heavy, or with this wood we could build a house or a crib. One of them is facetious, and the other one is just tedious. Like, yes, okay, I guess you could build a crib with that wood. And I guess that's a symbolic statement, but, you know, that's a little cartoonish. Like, there's no other viewpoints other than... See, like, we go from saying our deep thoughts about things to, like, looking at a picture of an old saint and going, I wish I had that dress. What? Okay, fine. Either the only product can be a child, or it's a weird metaphor for ribs. We got a weird romance with this guy, but you know what? Whatever. I'm into a weird romance. We are weird people, and here's everything we're supposed to photograph. Wish we could do the photo. I'm sure we could find some interesting poses. Way to go, Angela. Way to be. I guess we're making our needs known. That's fine. Time to take these photos, and we can either take a photo of ourselves too. We can take a selfie, or we can not. That's fine. I guess he wants those because some of the bigger stuff he can't take with him? That's all I can figure. And he's trying to save it by whatever means necessary. Yeah, I kind of get the idea that he might be packing this up to try to move it away or store it somewhere. That's something that I too have been thinking. I agree with you. It's a shame after all this work we've done making the place homey and comfortable that he's basically decided, you know, forget it, we're moving away. I do like our outfit. I admit, I think, that would be inappropriate fraternization, Captain. I admit, I think an afro is a very attractive haircut. I like the way that an afro looks. But, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I think we're a cool-looking character. I think we're well-modeled. I don't know much what's going on inside of the headspace there, but the outside, we look cool. We're very 70s. We've got our bell-bottom jeans and our mustard sweatshirts on. Apparently, I got up as soon as I sat down because I twitched incorrectly. So let's try this again. We're better seeing. So that sounds like she's down on that. But now we're not. Now we think that's great. argument there. Yeah, anarcho-primitivism. You got it. See, that's not... I don't get that. That the country is all about free markets and flow of capital. Like, I don't think that's true of despots. Even, like, the anti-communist ones. I think that the U.S. was big into propping up despots who were anti-communist, but I don't think that they were really, like, super free market people. They were just about power in any means. I don't think the markets would be doing particularly well in Manchuria right now. You know, it's not, again, it's not quite that simple. They wouldn't be communists, like, they would, you know, deal with people capitalistically, but, I just don't think...
The soldiers have been burning books, art, and even certain antiques. Anything outside the new regime's notions of acceptable culture. Ortega's been
Certain
stockpiling
antiques,
artwork, waging a one-man rescue operation inside the apartment. I don't know if he's a hero or a fool.
I wonder what they're burning. Anything that made the past look good, I guess? Ooh, look at that. We put comfy pillows in there and completely did not make more space. That is such a horrible idea. If you wanted more place to put things on, we would have been just as well not putting pillows in there at all. If there is water in there, they're soaked. If it's not, they make a terrible surface to put anything on. What are we doing on all the monitors there? Gabriel. Why are you taking pictures that alternate between our torso and head and pant area? Gabriel, you're creepy. So I do wonder, I mean, I guess they really had to drive home that the new administration is anti-art. And to be fair, I am relatively sure that despots sometimes are anti-art, but I don't see why this anti-communist regime would be. I mean, I could see them doing away with some of the socialist and communist-themed art from a little bit ago, but surely they were kind of the originals there. Ah, yes, it's better to burn out than fade away. Well put. Yeah, take it all. Like your brother did, and notably unlike what you were doing. You are hiding yourself in a luxury penthouse again. Oh, of course, again, for only 1 hour a week, but that's the only hour we get to see, so that's all we see of you. True enough. Although most of that history we were just, you know, getting berries and killing deer and warring with other tiny tribes and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, I know enough about anthropology and ecology to answer that and say probably not. Probably not happier. Sorry, paleo people, but a lot of that time was like dying of typhus and typhoid and starving and getting killed by deer and stuff like that. I think modernity is okay in that sense. I'd certainly be dead with my bad eyesight and allergies. Anyway, that's it for this session, so thanks for joining me, and let's see how far we can get next time.